Hi everyone, my name is Cullum and today we're going to give you guys a quick and down dirty, easy, step-by-step guide on how to remove the starter motor from all Toyota 3.4 5VZ FE engines. These engines come in the 95 through 2004 Toyota Tacoma, 2000 through 2004 Toyota Tundra, 95 through 98 Toyota T100, 96 through 2002 for Toyota 4Runner, and the 93 through 04 Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. These are the steps that we're going to take to do this job. 1, disconnect the battery negative. 2, disconnect the connections on the starter motor. There's 2 of them. 3, loosen your starter bolts. There's 2 of those. 4, support the starter in one hand while removing those loosened bolts with the other hand. 5, reinstall the new starter in reverse sequence. The series of tools that you're going to need to complete this job is fairly straightforward. 3/8 inch ratchet, either a couple longer extensions or a series of extensions, approximately 20 inches in length, universal adapter or a spherical adapter, a number 10 socket, 12, 13, and 14 socket. You may or may not need the 13 or 12. And then, depending on how you want to do things, possibly also a 14mm box wrench. And then, of course, your wonderful new starter motor. Another thing to mention is it might be helpful to have a jack so that way you can raise the vehicle up, gives you a little bit easier access. And you can also either remove your front passenger tire or you could simply turn your tires all the way to the left to give you a little bit more access that way. Step 1, locate your battery, remove your negative terminal. On these motors, the starter is located on the passenger side to the rearmost section of the motor, just underneath the exhaust manifold. And here's the view looking in from the passenger side wheel well. On your starter, you will find your 2 electrical connections, your high power voltage lead, and behind that, your low power ignition switch. Okay, so remove your high power voltage. This is a 13mm on my truck. It's not very tight, I already pre-loosened it. It'll have a nut and a lock washer. Careful not to lose it. Pull that off and out the way. Next, you will want to remove your switch quick connect. So to do that, there's this little button you want to press in and pull out at the same time. Pull that stuff out the way. Sometimes if you're having a hard time getting this out, sometimes it's easier to, or helps to push this in a little bit to relieve tension on the clip. Next step is to separate your starter from your bell housing. To do that, you will need to remove 2 bolts. A lower and an upper bolt. These require a 14mm socket. You can possibly use a wrench for the lower bolt, but I do recommend using a 6-point wrench. I tried to use a 12-point and it wanted to round off. To get to the upper bolt, you're going to need to use these series of extensions and either the ball socket or the universal adapter. Depending on your vehicle, you may have a couple other items, i.e. a dipstick or maybe a couple other minor brackets that you could move out the way to make your life a little bit easier. For mine, it's pretty straightforward, except for one thing. I am going to remove this exhaust manifold bracket. As you can tell, I don't have a bolt in it anyway, so I'm removing these 2 bolts. That will get out the way and allow me to use a socket on this lower starter bolt as well. So to reach these bolts, what I did, run your extension up, get your socket on there. As you can tell, run it down, try and minimize your angle. Okay, so once you have broken free those 2 bolts, you want them to where you can essentially loosen them just by hand. Next, you want to support your starter motor by hand while using your other hand to unthread the bolts. So I'm going to remove the lower bolt because the upper bolt is holding it in, as you can see. So support the starter motor with one hand, use the other hand to loosen the last remaining bolt, whether it's the top or the bottom, but I do recommend making it the top. Okay, starter is free, bolt is out. Starter should just drop out. Now at this point, depending on your vehicle, you're probably not going to be able to drop the starter down just like I have. You may actually have to take it out and above the frame. So again, my vehicle is modified. So this is where your starter was. If you have a stock vehicle, chances are you have to bring the starter up and out this direction. You may have a brake line that you have to sort of unbolt and move, but you can get it out over here. P.S. Don't worry about this missing nut. It's stripped. I have to replace it. Once you have your old starter out, it's always a good idea to compare your old part to your new part. As you can tell, mine are pretty much exactly the same. This one, you can tell, this is an off-road truck, so it has all sorts of grime and dirt in it. But anyway, next we are going to put the new starter back in the truck. And the sequence for that is pretty much exactly reverse of how you took the starter out. I found this to be the hardest and most awkward part of the job, as it's difficult to put yourself in a position where you can support the starter, hand start the bolts, and also see what you're doing at the same time. I do recommend actually putting the two bolts through the holes in the bell housing before trying to put the starter in position. I found that to help when locating the new starter. Okay, this is by far the most awkward position. So now that we have the lower and the upper bolt hand started, we're going to tighten them up. It is a good idea to double check and make sure that your starter is flush against the bell housing when you're tightening these bolts. When you are happy that both bolts are snug, go ahead and torque them down. After torquing down, go ahead and hook your cables and everything back up. I cleaned mine off. Recommend you do the same to yours. But yours may not be dirty like mine. Your starter may come with a new nut. Mine did. It has a lock washer on it, and it is actually a different size socket than what the original was, so just keep that in mind. Mine went from a size 13. Mine went from a size 13 to a size 12. Cover the cap back up. Once you've connected your cables back up, you can go ahead and put back any other accessories that you took off. I got to put back my manifold bracket. You may have to put back your dipstick. Totally up to you. Go ahead and get that done. No longer do I need this guy. So that is all for this video, folks. I hope you found it quick, simple, and informative. I have put links in the description below to all the tools that you need, as well as the starters for the various vehicles. Some of those are on Amazon, but I also highly recommend you going to rockauto.com. That is typically where I will buy my automotive parts. It's where you usually get the best price, but sometimes they are cheaper on Amazon. Anyway, so go check those out. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. Again, my name is Cullum and this is Built Adventure. We do all sorts of adventure videos as well as a lot of DIY videos. Anyway, I hope you guys have a blessed day. Until next time, Built to Venture out.